and just future for all. And I'm very excited with the program that we have organized for you today. Just to give you a taste, we have John Paul Lederach giving us some reflections on peace and conflict. We have an interview with Australian Senator Penny Wong and how she thinks politics must change to allow for a peaceful world. Irene Santiago, a self-described mayhem maker and movement builder in the Philippines, will also be giving the keynote shortly. And of course, we have you from around the world, some of you joining very early in the morning, joining us over the course of 24 hours to explore how we bring peace into this world. Before we proceed, past District Governor Jerry Norman from New Zealand, Aotearoa, will take us through a virtual Maori Powhiri to mark the coming together of the many cultures and peoples from around the world joining this conference. He will do so in a short speech and in song. In response, past District Governor Isao Mizuno-san, a longtime supporter of the Rotary Peace Fellowship Program based in Japan, will represent the Northern Hemisphere and respond in word and song too. This Powhiri is an important peace-building ritual as it demonstrates the importance of connecting with the representatives from another country at both a spiritual and physical level. Now I'd like to hand over to my colleague Hilary Rosentretter, based in Japan now. She will translate some of my remarks in Japanese before we proceed. I hand the screen to Hilary.
Thank you, Elaine. I will start with translating your speech. 皆様おはようございます。イレーンさんのイントロダクションスピーチを通訳させていただきます。コンフェレンスを間もなく再開しますが、その前に前の地区ガバナジェリー・ノーマンにポウィリというマオリの伝説の歓迎式をバーチャルでやっていただきます。このイベントのために多様なカルチャーの人々が集まってくださって、そのことを祝うようにポフィリを行います。このポフィリはスピーチだけではなく歌でも行う予定です。そして北半球の代表として前の地区ガバナーの水野勲さんもスピーチ、そして歌を挨拶をやっていただきます。水野さん、いつもロータリーピースフェルのために頑張ってくださって心の底から感謝しております。このポフィリは平和構築には大切な儀式です。なぜならポフィリを通じて国々の代表とスピリチュアル的にもコミュニケーションができるようになります。では始めましょう。
Thank you. I now hand the screen to Kaumatua Jerry Norman, based in New Zealand.
Kia ora, let the Powhiri begin. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga.
Cease the winds from the west, cease the winds from the south.
Kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā tara tara ki tae.
Let the breezes blow over the land, let the breezes blow over the ocean.
E hi aka ina te atākura, he tio, he huka, he hahunga.
Let the red-tipped dawn come, with a sharpened air, a touch of frost, a promise of a glorious day.
Ki he I Maori ora.
I sneeze the breath of life.
E re re, te manu, ki te mau, I te rau, o jaroa, ki te tau o taku ate. Me anga whetu, hei puchi puchi mau. Hei tātai atu, ki tō mau. Kopu I te au, hare arau I te ko. Ki aho, I hora, ngā whetu, te mama, ki runga, ki te tau o taku ate. E re re, te manu. Whakarongo, whakarongo, whakarongo. Whakarongo ki te au ki te tangi o te manu nei a te tui, 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 tui a.
Listen, listen, listen carefully. My attention is drawn to the cry of the tui calling. Let us all come together and be united as one.
Tui a I runga, tui a I raro, tui a I roto, tui a I waho, tui a te here tangata.
Let us be united from above, united from below, united from the outside, and united from within, joined by the threads of human love.
Ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao.
Let peace abound both by night and by the light of day.
Tui e te muko tangata I take ama I Hawaii ki nui, I Hawaii ki roa, I Hawaii ki pāmāmau.
Intertwined with the threads of humanity, originating from the great homeland, from the distant homeland, and from the remote homeland.
Te hono a wairua, whakaputa ki te whai ao, ki te ao marama, tihei Maori ora.
Merging with the spirits and emerging into the world of light, out into the world of knowledge and understanding. I sneeze the breath of life.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e rauraka tira mā, nau mai, haere mai, piki mai.
All peoples of the world, all voices, all noble ones, welcome, welcome, welcome to you all.
Tēnā koutou katoa ko hono mai mo tēnei hui rangi Māori a ao.
Greetings to you all who have come together for this global cyber peace conference.
Tuatai ke tau te rangi Māori o te rangi e tū iho nei, o papa tuanuku e takoto ake nei, o te takapū e awhi nei a tātou katoa.
Firstly, let the peace of the heavens above, of Mother Earth below, of the universe embrace us all.
Tihei Maori ora.
Behold, it is life.
Tuarua, ka tuku te reo poroporo ake ki te hunga ko ngaro ki tua o te arai.
Secondly, it is fitting that we pay homage to all our ancestors who have travelled to beyond the horizon of the living.
Ko hinga ngā kaka wahanui, ngā manu tiu tio, ko riro I te ripo o te tai.
Our great orators have been engulfed by the swirling tides.
Kauri atu te moana wairua o whiti aroa.
You have all traversed the spiritual oceans of Whiti Aroa.
E noho whakatā koutou I tō wairua I runga o onero a tāre.
Your spirits rest a while on the shores of Tare.
Au manu atu koutou ki te wehurunga tanga o ngā mano.
You remain afloat on the currents till you arrive at the realms of the multitudes.
Ka au piki atu koutou ki runga I o te maunga o Pekahuhu.
Then you ascend the cobblestoned mountain of Pekahuhu,
E tū ki runga I o maunga tūpuna.
where you will all stand proudly aloft your ancestral mountains.
Haere atu rā e ngā rangatira ki te wāhi I whakairawai mō tātou te tangata.
Farewell, noble ones, to the final place sculpted for us all.
Takoto Māori e ki te ao mamai kore.
Rest in peace in that pain-free world.
Tua toru, tātou te umawara e huihui ana I te rānei tēnara koutou katoa.
Thirdly, we the living gathered together on this day, greetings to you all.
Ngā mihi nui ki ngā taimihi tangata.
I acknowledge the people from the many tides.
Tūkua mai o kōrero hohuru ke rere mai o te aio, ke tū te aio, ao te pō te ao.
Let the depth of your discussions create realities for everlasting peace.
Tūkua mai ngā kōrero mo te tai ao, kei reira te oranga mo te tangata mo te aio.
Let your discussions embrace our environment, for therein lies the foundations of humanity and peace.
Kia kaha, kia maia, kia manunui, kia tū te aio ki te ao.
Be strong, be brave, be steadfast in seeking peace across the world.
Anei te tahi whakatauki Māori.
Here is a Maori proverb.
Hutia te rito o te hara keke, keihea te komako e ko.
If you remove the growing shoot of the flax bush, where then will the bellbirds sing?
Ki mai ke ahau, e aha te mea nui o te ao.
If you ask me, what is the greatest gift of the world?
Māku e ki atu, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata.
I will reply, it is people, it is people, it is people.
Ngā mihi nui ki a koutou.
Greetings to you all.
He kuapa marangara, nā kotahi te manui tau. Tau atu ki te tahuna, tau atu e. He tangata, he koutou, he tangata ke mātou. I roto I te nei whare tātou tātou e. E te rangatira, e past district governor Isao Mizuno-san, konnichiwa, ayo gozaimasu.
こんにちは、おはようございます。So, Jerry-san, thank you so much for your song and meaningful stories. Thank you again. And before my address, please listen to my favorite song. I prepared some CD for all of you. Just wait a minute. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy you try. No hell below us. Above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It is hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And all religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Thank you so much for listening. This is my favorite song, and I'm not a dreamer. I want to make the earth, make it a better place, I think. And good morning, everybody from Tokyo. First of all, congratulations on holding the Global Peace Cyber Conference. I'm Isao Mizuno, past governor of District 2750-2015-16. So now I'm working as an ICU host area coordinator. My district covers southern part of Tokyo and Guam, Saipan, and the Federated States of Micronesia. We have 9 clubs outside of Japan and 89 clubs inside. We could feel the diversity and so the different culture. I enjoyed my Rotary life. So unfortunately, due to the spread of coronavirus infection, the international convention in Honolulu was canceled. I'm so disappointed. That's because I loved Honolulu and I'm planning to visit this June. And even now, so I plan to visit Honolulu this August. But virtual convention was held, and I was able to feel new possibilities for a Rotary life. On the first day and the second day, I participated and enjoyed the meeting with many friends and chatting in chat. About 1 week ago, ICU Peace Fellow 70th Generation Fair meeting was held online. Irene and Florence, Elizabeth, Shians also hosted this conference and attended also. Even it was a short time, but we are able to share a very meaningful and happy time. And today we have Mr. Bill Rins. Mr. Bill Rins came to ICU from RY in March last year. And at that time, we agreed to strengthen the network of Peace Fellow graduates. Due to their work, graduates are scattered all over the world, and it is difficult to keep in touch after graduation. But I think it is very meaningful to strengthen the network of more than 1,300 graduates. For the future, I would like to use these kind of online systems to strengthen the network. Nowadays, I feel that the world is moving from cooperation to conflict, unfortunately. That's why Peace Fellows are expected to contribute to the world peace as a peace builder over the world more than ever. I would like you to realize the will of Paul Harris, who felt the importance of the world peace more strongly than anyone, and appealed for the value of it as a Rotarian and Peace Fellow. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to continuous success of the Peace Fellows and the future of Rotary. Thank you for attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mizuno-san. Kaumatua Jerry Norman will conclude this Powhiri.
Tomo arigato, Mizuno-san.
Thank you so much, Jerry-san.
So in conclusion, let's close this formal part. With
discussion comes knowledge.
With
knowledge comes light and understanding. With the light and understanding comes wisdom. And with wisdom comes wellness. May the sea be smooth like greenstone. And may peace spread across Aotearoa, New Zealand and the world. Greetings to you all.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Faye, for translating. So thank you those who have just joined us midway through the welcome ceremony. We just had a welcome from New Zealand and Japan. Today we come together to envision a world after the Great Pause. The term the Great Pause has been used in many cultures and indigenous communities as the space between the collapse of old systems that no longer work and the new ones we get to build together. As you all know, the events of 2020 has shown us the ways of how we have lived, worked, traveled, connected with friends and family have been disrupted. Perhaps for the very first time in history, this global pandemic has united the world through the common experience of struggle and pain. This has caused many to reflect on how we have lived, the perspectives we hold, and the things we have taken for granted. I know it has for me. This also provides us with a significant opportunity to reimagine and reconstruct our economic, legal, and political systems so that they are just and equitable. When the organizing team first conceived of the idea of a truly global peace event, we really wanted to bring together regional voices from around the world and to provide a safe space for people to imagine a future grounded in peace. That's why we have, during the course of 24 hours, we have 3 tracks that are happening throughout the 24 hours. This one is focused on Asia and Oceania, and later we have the Middle East, Africas, and Europe, and we conclude with the Americas and the Caribbean. But in terms of our Asia-Oceania regional organizing team, we have members from Japan, India, Australia, Thailand, even from America. We are a truly multicultural global team with different personalities and different temperaments. We soon realized very quickly that organizing this conference would be a peace-building activity in itself, because we have different needs, different ideas, different ways of doing things. And now, thankfully, we can laugh about it. But conflict is a normal part of life. And as soon as we embraced our differences, we were able to channel them into growth and innovation to develop a conference experience that I really hope that you will enjoy today. So today I invite you to envision a world of peace. This is not an exercise in fantasy, but an acknowledgement that we live in a world of constraints and conflict, and that it is still possible to thrive and live in a way that encourages life, not death, hope, not despair, and peace, not violence. So in this opening plenary, Irene Santiago will share some thoughts from Philippines to help us envision a better tomorrow. I now turn to my colleague, Florence Mayer, another Rotary Peace Fellow based in Japan, to introduce our keynote speaker, Irene.
Thank you, Elaine. It is now my great pleasure to introduce a woman who has been a teacher and mentor to many Rotary Peace Fellows and countless others around the world. She is a peace negotiator and gender equality activist, a thought leader, mayhem maker, and movement builder. She first came to international attention as the executive director of the history-making NGO Forum on Women in China in 1995. In her home country, she was a member of the Philippine government peace panel negotiating with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. She was the first chair of the panel implementing the comprehensive Bangsamoro peace agreement. She co-founded the Mindanao Commission on Women and founded the Mothers for Peace movement and women's peace tables worldwide. In 2005, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize as one of 1,000 outstanding women peacemakers. She continues to work tirelessly to advance the role of women in peace and security, and is currently the peace advisor to the mayor of Davao City in the Philippines. We have the honor to be guided today by the words of wisdom and inspiration of a remarkable peace builder. Please join me in welcoming Irene Santiago.
Thank you, Florence. Irene.
Irene is muted.
Is Irene on? While we're waiting for Irene, I just want to know, Irene, you're a bit dark. I think the lighting now has made your face too dark to see.
Okay, is that okay?
It's still hard to see. Your face has a shadow. Yeah, I think a bit better.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All
Great.
right.
Thanks, Irene.
Yeah, but it's okay. Let me do that. Okay, so good morning again, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever in the world you are. First, let me say that I'm incredibly proud of the Rotary Peace Fellows, many of whom I had the privilege to teach, for putting this timely Cyber Peace Conference together. I am pleased to kickstart our conversation about our vision of the world after, as the title conference says, the Great Pause. This great pause is really the great rupture. It's like giving birth For a feminist like me, I can see what this process is all about. The rupture that is going to give birth to a world much better than we have. Before a tiny protein and fat wrapped thing called corona ruptured almost everything in our lives. Yes, our world flipped. Our routines flipped. Our priorities flipped. Our preoccupations flipped. What matter flipped. In the process of these many flips, for some miraculous reason, we could see clearly. We started to ask some fundamental questions about life. And we were surprised, and on some levels, pleased. Some fundamental questions ask, what is essential? Who is essential? What has value? Who is valuable? And significantly, what is a leader? Who are these leaders? During this pandemic, we saw heartwarming gestures of caring for one another, such as people leaving food packs in public places so the hungry would be sure to eat. We saw the increase in the number of people growing their own food and sharing this with their neighbors. In answer to the collapse of the global supply chain, a system of bartering goods and services flourished, made easier by the internet. The frontliners in our health system, the people who restock shelves and work the checkout counters in our supermarkets, the cleaners who disinfect our streets and public places, the farmers who grow our food, the people who continue to deliver food and other essentials while we are locked down, the security people who make us feel safe, the media people who keep us informed. We realize they are indeed essential to our lives. The question of what we value has so far been tied to what we count. As long ago as 1988, Marilyn Waring, a New Zealand feminist, academic, and former politician, wrote it so well in her groundbreaking book, If Women Counted, later republished as Counting for Nothing, What Men Value and What Women Are Worth. Marilyn criticizes a system which counts oil spills and wars as contributors to economic growth, while child rearing and housekeeping are deemed valueless. She adds, in a sane world, it would seem humankind would place a high value on life and those able to provide it. Winnie Byanyima, now head of UN AIDS, when she was head of Oxfam International, spoke often and well about the obscene gap between the rich, nay, the ultra-rich, and the poor. She cited that only 62 people owned the same collective wealth as, listen to this, 3.6 billion people. So 62 people own as much wealth as 3.6 billion people. In other words, the global 1% now own more than anyone else combined. If that is not obscene, I don't know what is. I am distressed when I hear people working on peace and development say that the root cause of war is poverty, because it makes us go around in circles thinking we are doing everything to make poverty go away, when in fact, we are just chasing our tails. Poverty, in spite of all the poverty reduction programs that have been going on for ages, has in fact grown to the proportions Winnie talks about. Poverty, I do not tire to say, is like fever. It is a symptom, a manifestation. So what is the disease? It is called inequality. You have heard all this before. How unequal treatment is accorded to different classes and groups of people from the time the baby is in his or her mother's womb, to the time the child is born, to the age when the child is due to go to school, etc., etc. We have heard of all the disadvantages the poor experience in education, health, right up to housing, jobs, any kind of advancement. There has been a lot of questioning about the focus on helping the poor. But something Winnie Byanyima has said shifts the focus in a way I would like us to think about. She says, leave no one behind, but also let no one get too far ahead. The ultra-rich have gone too far ahead because of a few very convenient means many of us don't pay too much attention to. These are tax dodging, or the ease of hiding money in tax havens, tax laws that favor the top and drain the bottom, and even policies about who gets the buck of bailout money in a crisis like what we are going through now. Winnie says that clearly there are rules for those at the top and another for those at the bottom. Just think of where the money in tax havens and unpaid taxes could go in terms of even the basic needs of our population. Money for nutritious food for kids in school, well-trained and well-paid teachers, health clinics, clean water, etc. To take care of the vast majority, the ones we are supposed not to leave behind, the majority of whom are women in the lowest paid and most precarious jobs. Payment of a dignified living wage is still shamelessly contested. We knew all this before, but this crisis has made this reality even more stark. So, if we are talking about envisioning a new world, it would have to be an equal world, a fair and just world to those on the underbelly of the beast due to their gender, race, class, ethnicity, religion, and all the other identity markers that we know do not exist independently of each other in perpetuating oppression. The second significant realization in this time of COVID is, yes, you guessed it, women's public leadership. How many of us have marveled at the likes of Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand, Angela Merkel of Germany, and Tsai Ing-wen of Taiwan? There are reams of copy around this theme, as expressed in this article by Aviva Whittington Fox entitled, "What do countries with the best coronavirus responses have in common? Women leaders." New Zealand's Jacinda Ardern's leadership has been called a masterclass in crisis leadership. How did this 39-year-old Prime Minister persuade the collective to take responsibility for collective problems? Ardern followed three approaches to effective communication in a crisis. Jacqueline and Milton Mayfield's research-based model highlights three key things leaders must address to motivate followers to give their best. These are direction giving, meaning making, and empathy. Ardern gave clear directions ahead of time so people knew what was coming. She explained why these actions had to be done. Stay home to save lives, she said, and showed empathy in her every public appearance. from the truthfulness and decisiveness of Chancellor Merkel and President Chai, to the use of the latest technology by Prime Minister Jakobsdottir of Iceland and Prime Minister Marin of Finland, to the regard for the feelings and well-being of children by Prime Minister Solberg of Norway and Prime Minister Frederiksen of Denmark. These leaders showed that dealing with the crisis requires all these strong qualities that women possess. In comparing this women's brand of leadership to that of some male leaders in our midst, Wittenberg-Cox identified the following approaches men have used, and I quote, blame others, capture the judiciary, demonize the journalists, and blanket the country in, I will never retire, darkness, close quote. In envisioning the world after the great pause or the great rupture, therefore, let us claim power to transform the systems and structures so that we have an equal, kinder, and happier world. The first order of the day is to redefine power. I believe that if you cannot name it, you can't have it. So, from domination and superiority and manipulation and control, let us redefine power like this. Power is the potency to act for what is good. Three operative words: potency, act, good. Capacity, action, value. The wonderful Winnie Byanyime adds her own. It's not enough to ask what works. One has to ask what's right. What powers should we claim from our experiences and insights in the time of Corona? First, the power of community, not leaving anyone behind and not letting anyone go ahead. Second, the power of the better angels of our nature, as identified by Steven Pinker. And these are empathy, self-control, the moral sense, and reason. Third, the power of local action, because people are more confident to act for change in their local space. And therefore, broad and democratic participation is possible and will be the bedrock of our new world. Fourth, the power of not only local action, because change needs to penetrate the systems and structures that oppress and exploit people internationally and nationally. And last but not least, the power of feminist public leadership, strategic, empathetic, holistic. So, let's flip power. People's voice and participation will flip it. Feminist, not necessarily female, but feminist public leadership will flip it. The political, economic, and social relationships that operate in our systems are all inextricably linked. So, as we flatten the curve, let us flatten the gaps. Your conversations that begin today must first answer the question, what needs to be flipped? We have to name them. Because remember, if we can't name them, we can't have them. So go name them. And as we flip, let's land on the right side of history and her story. As we denounce, let us also announce. I'm inviting all of you, and I hope you will invite your friends and colleagues to join us in the campaign we're launching to respond to this great rupture. The first phase is entitled, How Then Shall We Live? And the second phase, What Then Must We Do? We need every group, network, and coalition to be involved. The conversations you have in this conference will be the beginning of this critical worldwide conversation we need to have to make the world we envision truly ours. And here I end this conversation with all my best wishes for a successful conference. And before I go, I offer this benediction to inspire all of us as we set forth in our collective journey to an equal, kinder, and happier world. Thank you.
A benediction by the theologian Rebecca Ann Parker. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. Any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer this question. What will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours. And while there is injustice, anesthetization, or evil, there moves a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting that that which is sacred will not be defiled. Those who bless the world live their life as a gesture of thanks for that beauty and that rage. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation. More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life, welcoming you.
Thank you, Irene, for that. Now we would like to hear all your thoughts and generate ideas that we can take back to your communities. You will each be assigned to a breakout room with a group number where a facilitator will introduce themselves and facilitate the discussion. I'm going to now just share the questions that you will be discussing. So facilitators, feel free to copy and paste that again. There is a Mentimeter survey that you can use. I encourage you to use it. During your discussions, please add 3 words to describe what actions you will you currently take or will take to build peace around you. Please bear in mind you only have 25 minutes and the groups are large because there are a lot more people here than we expected. So please do jump straight into the questions after brief introductions. And if you can have one person volunteering to do the report back, we are just all going to share 1 point from each group. So as a group, please decide what that idea might be. I would also ask if someone in the group, please take notes and copy and paste in this group chat box when we all reconvene. So please paste it in this chat box after you rejoin us. So now I'll leave it to our tech support to break us up into our sessions, and I'll see you in 25 minutes.
An announcement: if you want to be in the Japanese translation room, please stay back or identify yourself to us and we will accordingly reassign you. I'm opening up the breakout rooms.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
聞こえます。
聞こえます。今誰が入ってんのかな、ここには。
日本人のロータリアンとしては私と水のコーディネーターだけだと思います。
そうなの？
ええ。あとはフェローが何名か入ってますけど、エリザベスだとかマーハーとか。
エリザベスもこのルームにいます？
さっき先ほどにエリザベス出てましたね、画面には。
イレーヌさんもいますよね。
で、過去の人もいましたよね、多分。
はいはい。で、ヒラリーさん。
ですね。
そうですか。
なんかちょっとね、入りが難しかったですよね。このズーム自体はいいんですけれども、もう一つのなんか風なんとかってやつあるんじゃないですか。
はいはい、マオリ族の。
いや、さっきのじゃなくて、WHOVA っていう、フーバーっていうのかな。フーバーっていう、あれ英語でやるのかなってずっと僕も思ってて、最終的にはマーハーとやり取りしてた時に、ズームを送ってきたんですよ。それで入れたっていう感じですかね。
そうですね、最初の案内がちょっと混乱してましたね。あと時間帯も10時からとか、なんかこう2つか3つ来てて、
そうです。
それちょっと分からなかったんですけどね。
はい。
まあでもまあ。
We have Elsa joining us.
No, I'm here to just check in because there are quite a few in the meeting. So I'm going to go back.
Okay.
10時から12ちょっと過ぎまでやってたんで。まあ、面白かったですけどね。
いやもう、当初これ。
Anyone who's here, you would have got a request to join a breakout room. So just click on that and you'll be sent to a breakout room. Did you see that message? Otherwise, I'm going to reassign you probably.
Elsa, I don't believe there was a message.
Okay, I'm going to rename your thing.
Irene-san, can you hear me? Irene-san, can you hear me?
多分また日本人だけもしかしたら戻ったんですね。
そう。ブリンさんってこれ去年来たでしょ。それが今入ってるんで。
そうですか。
いるかなと思ったんだけど。シャイニー先生入ってますね。
はい。なんかさっきいきなりちょっとまたみんなのやつ入っちゃいましたね。で、また戻ったみたいな今。
なんかちょっとでも日本人これだけつうと寂しいね。
やっぱ入り方が難しい。ブライアン・スティールさんってあれですね。
どの人？
ブリンさん。去年来られた方ですね。
そう。元 TR。北さんと同期ですよ。
そうですか。多分
I think that was the main question.
Hi everyone, are you fine? I had posted the questions. Elizabeth, would you mind facilitating because we had an overflow? So I'm just going to post the questions here as well in case you.
Okay.
Thank
nice
you.
To see you, Elsa.
うまくもうちょっとなんつうの？
そうですね。せっかくですからね。
せっかくだから例えばホストエリアコーディネーター補佐とかカウンセラーとかね。それから現役の学生。
はい、全員ね。
入った方がいいですよね。そうですね。
いや、ちょっとね、今回のやつやっぱりね、分かんなかったですね、正直言って、全く。
僕もね、いきなりフローレンスからメールもらって、 で、こういうのがあるんで出てくれないかっていうことと、そのアドレスをしてくれということと、まあ、さっきのジェリーさんでしたっけ、ジェリーさんに対する答令をしてくれというのがあったんですよ。
ただね、私の地区は、1週間ぐらい前にフローレンスから来たもので、全員に委員には回しました。委員に一応、ただ今言ったズームじゃなくて、さっき言ったエッチなんとかっていう方だったんで、多分みんな入れなかったと思います。もしかしたら。
なるほどね。そうかもしれないね。
最初にズームのアドレスが、送られてくれば多分入りやすいと思うんですよ。もうすでにズームやってますから、我々は。
そうですよね。ズームの方がみんな入ったんじゃないですか。すんなり。
そうですよね。ただ、多分最初の話だと、ズームじゃなくて、ズームって本当、今日の僕、9時10分前ぐらいに知ったっていうぐらいですから。
そうなんだ。
どうやって入るんだとずっとやってたんですよ、朝から。夜中の3時からしたんだけど、どうしても入れなくて、ダブルなんとかってやつは。それでやっと分かったんですね。で、マーハにちょっと僕はどうしても入れないと言ったら、ズームのやつを送ってきてくれたんです。
最初からズームで統一してくれてれば楽だったのにね。
そうですよね。多分ね、ズームじゃなくて違う、さっき言ったHなんとかでずっと。
そう。あれも僕、ちょっと入れましたよ、だから。
でも、分かんないですね、これ。
分かんない、やり方が。
だから、こういう形でできないで、会議じゃなくて、ただ、文章として読むことできるんですけども、こういうね、オンラインでできるって感じじゃないみたいですもんね、これ。
そうですね。だからもう、ズームでやった方がよっぽどいいですよ。
そうですね。
もうここのとこなんかズームついてて、明日の朝もやるんだよね。これは日本人そうだけど。
昨日はうちの地区のこの間カウンセラー2人来れなかったんで、2時間ガバナ事務所でびっちりやりましたんで、すいませんでした。
いやいや、お疲れ様です、それは。もうそろそろレギュラーミーティングが始まってるんでしょ？
始まってます。
ね、そうですよね。
今週ぐらいからですかね、徐々に。で、うちはあと月曜日の日にマーハとジョバーニの感想会を普段は地区でやるんですけど、今年できなかったんで、私とカウンセラー2人とフェロー2人で5人でやります。
なるほどね。いや、それと柴宮さんから宮崎さんも来てるんですけど、ずっと補佐の方とも、それから委員の方ともお会いしてないんで、一回フェイストゥフェイスでやりましょうという話をしてまして、多分7月中にやろうと思ってるんですけどね。
もうそろそろもうやっても平気な感じになって
ますよね。いや、もういいと思いますよ。ずっとやってないから。それから清水さんって新しい方はもう僕会ってないんで、だから、三角さんと清水さん呼んで、石合わせしといた方がいいのかなと。まだ混乱してるでしょ、7期も。
そうですね。
19期生もいつ来るのかわからないとか。だから、その辺のことの情報交換しといた方がいいのかなと思って。僕の声ってちゃんと聞こえてます？
コーディネーター、今だと聞こえます。ただ、普通に手で話しているときは、ちょっと聞きづらいです、やっぱり。
やっぱりね。
これだともう全然今だと普通です。
なるほど。さっきの僕のアドレスの時は大丈夫でした。あれ外してたんですよ。
平気でした。今に歌われた時平気でした。
あれはもうスピーカー使わないで、パソコンのスピーカー使ってたから、その方が、だけど周りの音が入っちゃうからと思って、こっちの方が聞きやすいし、聞くときはこの方が楽なんで。
Hi, sorry, I think you better come to the main room because the Japanese guys are there in the main room and discussing. So you may as
Okay. Sounds good.
8月解除になったから行けるんじゃないかって来たんですよ。
来年の台北はもうエントリーされたんですか？
しました。
僕もしたんですけど、僕いつも分かんないのは、例えば12日から16日が大会じゃないですか。で、どの辺を泊まれるんですか？僕一応、12から16までは泊まるんですけども、前後泊まるんですか？
前後1日か2日取ってますね。前後で確か2日間は取ってるんじゃないかな。
じゃあ11時に行って17に帰るぐらいな感じ。
それで今回、米山の絆イン台北をやると思うんですよ、前日に。僕、それでなきゃいけないんで、一応そういう形で取ってますけど。
で私、珍しく今年、次年度ですか、米山のツアーやりますんで、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。 そうなんですよね。今度、体制がまた変わって、僕、今度、常務理事から副理事長やるんで、だから行かないわけにいかないし。
この間、隣で、ちょっと、ロータリー財団自治区でやってて、鈴木さん、佳境の鈴木さんが、水のコミュニティのデータに、米山小学のやつに入ってるうちの2590、鈴木さんで眼鏡かけた。
米山の。
うん、米山行ってるんですね、多分今。
2590、横浜でしょ？
川崎です、多分。川崎先、活気とかね、変ですね。
はいはいはい。そうですか。水野さん。
鈴木さん。
鈴木さん。鈴木さんよく知ってますよ。眼鏡かけた、
そうです、そうです。
結構熱心な方ですよね。
これ隣だったんで、僕、親分は水野さんだったよ。僕もそうだったから、そうですか。
いや、台湾でよくお会いしますよ。よく見えてますね、あの方はね。で、台湾にすごく知り合い多いんじゃないですか、あの人。去年も会いましたね。あれは台湾学友会かな、それでお会いしました。去年の12月か11月ですよ。11月終わりかな。そうそう。毎回会いますね。
水野さん。
はい。
すみません、失礼します。できれば、ディスカッションの質問をちょっと話したいんですけど。
Choose a female vice president just because she's female. I mean, this is an interesting discussion to have, I think, is
答えで、最後に、なんか思ったこととか、そういうのありますけれども、最初もできれば、短めの自己紹介をお願いしたいです。
もう一度自己紹介するんですか？
そうですね、本当に、
わかりました。だから、さっき言った、僕はパストガバナーで2015、16年ですと。で、あと、ホストエリアコーディネーターの ICU のホストエリアコーディネーターを今やってますぐらいでいい。
I don't know if you remember me, but I wanted to say hi. And Erin
大きな部屋になってますので、ブレイクアウトルームで、だから皆さんが入ってると思います。
はい。ブリンさんは、確かこのコミュニティの委員長かなんかやってたんじゃないかな。ピースエローのプログラムの。
そうだと思いますね。はい。
で、去年、ローラさんって RI の職員と一緒にICU に見えて。
And it's driven by growth, and you have seen during the COVID, some countries have been focusing on growth and sacrifice.
非常にいいタイミングで見えたんで、